The imaginary tree of the quantum mechanics. Friends, allow me to tell you the history of quantum mechanics in a simplistic way, to understand it better, and from my point of view, of course. Around 1926, our friend Schrödinger was rambling, when he came up with the idea of using the frequency of waves to compose a formula for the probabilistic situation of particles in the microscopic world. And so he set up his probabilistic wave function formulas and the square of it, proposing an intention more than a demonstration and proof, which would go down in history as a lapidary phrase. The square of the wave function should be taken as the possibility of finding a particle in a certain place in the space of the microscopic world. Of course, it was never verified or proven that this was the case. So, Eureka, we will no longer have to verify anything, since with the supposed probability it is not necessary to verify, but rather apply this formula. But of course, contradictions and questions immediately arose from those old-fashioned classical physicists, who saw that the distribution of orbitals of this incipient QM did not coincide with the necessary and obligatory movements of the electrons and executed by their charges, mass, magnetic fields, etc. Solution? Well, the simplest. Deny the major. No, there in the microscopic world the classical physical laws are not fulfilled, but rather our formula that we have just invented. That is, where mass and gravity, atomic nuclei, are born, where electric charges are born and are, where the magnetic fields, magnetic polarity, gravitational and magnetic spins, etc. are born and are. Well, no, there those elements do not function or execute their power, but far beyond the atoms, outside of them. Therefore, and for this reason, we quants have established some formulas, certainly unproven, that order and command in the world of the microcosm. Furthermore, to completely cloud the classics who want to adduce or discuss with logic any proof or event, we say that in the microscopic world the everyday logic that we use does not exist either. Their logic does not exist. What exists there is the logic that we could call quantum logic, that is, we can expand our quantum formulas indefinitely, and everything they give us, since they will be mandatory for this quantum world. For example, the overlay. With our classical logic that is not possible, because if all the particles are in a state of superposition, all of them taking at the same time all the possibilities of position and other characteristics, this would prevent all change, movement, evolution, transformation, etc., which are subject to classical physics. That is to say, with superposition the consistency, reality, movement, transformation, and evolution of the microcosm ends. And anyone might wonder, but is that credible for any scientist? If you are a quantum, yes, because the quantum no longer thinks with classical logic, but rather develops quantum formulas which are real and true for the simple fact that they are their mathematical developments. But of course, the microscopic world is very diverse, and QM can contaminate it as well. For example, the Higgs boson. A particle that only exists for a fraction of a second, and only exists in particle accelerators. Well, this particle with an infinitesimal lifetime, together with a Higgs field, which was never discovered, since they are what constantly give matter to the entire universe and during all its years of existence, perhaps much more than those 13,000 millions of years old that they say it is. A classical physicist, or a simple physics student, cannot believe that. It is only accepted by those who lack classical logic, that is, true quantum physicists. And finally, the finishing touch of quantum mechanics. It is man, with his observation, who makes reality and gives life to the entire microscopic world, even the macroscopic one, with relativity, in such a way that reality only exists if a man, we assume intelligent and quantum, measures you observe any physical event. Is there any greater egocentrism and conceit than thinking the above? Well, friends, thank you for your attention. And I hope that quantum physicists don't feel offended that I don't agree with them.